In this video, we will continue to compare and order rational and irrational numbers on a number line. In this video, I will show you 5 different numbers that we need to compare and order on the number line. I have pi. The value of pi is what? It is 3 14/100. So pi will actually be more than 3 but less than 4, but it's real close to 3 as a whole number. Which one could we do next? What about 2 85/100? 2 85/100 falls between the whole numbers of 2 and 3. It's more than the half, but it's less than 3 wholes. So I'm just gonna bump this right here, okay? What about 4 7/10? That's an easy one that we can figure out as well. It's more than 4 1/2, but less than 5. So I'm gonna put that here. I have the square root of 24, and I have 25 thirds left. Let's look at the square root of 24. The square root of 24 falls between which two whole numbers? Okay, and I do have our perfect square cards. If you don't have these, you can make your own list before you get started. So looking at this, the square root of 24 falls between the square root of 16 and the square root of 25, right? So it's between the whole numbers of 4 and 5. Is it closer to 4 or closer to 5? The square root of 24. Yeah, it's closer to 5. It's almost 5. So I'm gonna put it here, right? I'm gonna put it right here. It's more than 4 7/10, but it's less than 5 as a whole. And when you get to your 8th grade standards, you will actually learn to approximate those to get a better estimate. And then the last one is 25 thirds. And with 25 thirds, that is a fraction greater than 1. All we have to do is convert that. So if you have 25 thirds, it's the same thing as 25 divided by 3. 25 divided by 3, 3 goes into 25 8 times, which equals 24. To get to 25, there's 1 unit left, and I keep my denominator the same. So 8 groups of 3 with 1 left over. So that's more than 8, a little bit more than 8. So I'm going to place that one down there. So from least to greatest, it will be 2 85/100, pi, 4 7/10, the square root of 24, and 25 thirds. What about the square root of 10, the square root of 64, the square root of 56, 1 96/100? We're going all in, you all. And let's do one more and say, nope, you know what? Let's keep it at that, okay? Which one should we do first? I know 1 96/100 is between 1 and 2, but it's close to 2. The square root of 64 is a perfect square. It is 8 because 8 times 8 is 64. Now I have the square root of 56 and the square root of 10. I know the square root of 56 is greater than the square root of 10, but between which two consecutive whole numbers does these two irrational numbers lie? Let's take a look at the square root of 10. So looking at the square root of 10, the square root of 10 is between the square root of 9 and the square root of 16, right? It's very close. It's only 1 unit away from 3 as a whole number. So it's between 3 and 4, but it's closer to 3. So let's go ahead and put this here. Now, it's more than 3 because the square root of 10 is greater than the square root of 9. So that's why I place it slightly to the right of 3. And then the square root of 56, taking a look at those whole numbers, it falls between the square root of 49 and the square root of 64. So I'm looking between the whole numbers of 7 and 8. Now keep in mind that the square root of 64 is exactly 8 because that's our perfect square. So if I needed to arrange these from greatest to least, it will be the square root of 64, the square root of 56, The square root of 10 and the least is 1 and 9600. In this video, we compared and ordered rational and irrational numbers on a number line.